Whew. Okay, my heart is racing. Hey guys, so let me just start off by saying that I never thought that I would be making a video like this, but you never know what's going to happen in life, and that's why I decided to do this video. So I took a break from everything, including YouTube, for a couple of weeks just to be able to spend extra time with my family, because usually when you experience death, and especially if it's someone close to you, it just makes you think and look back on your life and your family. It just makes you want to hold your family a little closer, a little tighter, and just spend more time with them. Now, the reason for making this video is that my father passed away last month. And you know, everyone will have to face death at some point. Like, all of our days are numbered. But you just, until you're faced with it, you just never actually think that it's going to happen. So my father has been battling cancer, and he was battling it for, he was diagnosed about 2 years ago with stage 4 cancer. The difficult thing with his treatments through this time was that we would see progress, and then he would start to decline. And then one day he would have pain and then go a couple days without. But those days that he would be in pain was just so hard, because you just felt helpless. Like, you couldn't help him, do anything for him. You pretty much just had to wait it out, and just, he would be suffering for hours, even days at a time. Even though he was battling for a while, I just always thought that I would have more time, or at least time to say bye. And I think that's because when I was really young, my grandmother, his mom was battling cancer for a while, and then she ended up in the hospital, and all of her family was around her, and you know, the doctors told us it was time to say goodbye. And so I thought that it would kind of go along the same lines, or at least we would know and still have time to, you know, say goodbye. The morning that he passed away, I was taking my girls to see him that morning, You know, because seeing his granddaughters would always bring up his spirit, and I always liked to see that, so I'd bring them there as much as I could. Especially because that day, the day before, he just seemed very, very tired. His voice seemed like it changed a little bit. So my sister called me and told me that because she saw him and was just kind of preparing me. And so I called him that night and on FaceTime so I could see him. And then I was planning on, after that, going there that morning. Now, I got a call around 5:30 a.m. that morning that my dad fell and hit his head. So I'm going to spare the details because it was really difficult and kind of traumatic to go through and to experience. But he ended up passing away in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. And the reason why I'm telling you this, the reason why I'm sharing this, is because, like I said before, we all thought that we would have more time, and that we would be able to have more time to say goodbye. But the truth is, you just never know. And I don't know who's watching, I don't know who needs to hear this right now, but I just want you to get the importance of having a relationship with the Lord. He literally created you and wants you to love Him. He wants you to rely on Him for everything, no matter who you are or what you've done. He knows the sins that you've committed. He knows the sins that you will commit, because He's omniscient. And even so, He still wants you to love Him. He still wants you to seek Him. So please seek Him. I just feel like this has been weighing heavy on my heart, and that this needed to be said. So that's the reason why I'm sharing this right now. And especially in this time, like, we don't know. My dad had a fall, and he passed away unexpectedly and through an accident. So you just don't know what's going to happen today, tomorrow, whatever. So I just urge you to please seek him. If you want prayer for anything, please comment below, and I'll be praying for you and anyone that's watching. You can pray too. The last few weeks of his life, he was always just urging people to get right with the Lord. You know, if you knew him, you knew that he was always giving advice, no matter who you were, no matter, he could always just start up a conversation with you, and he always cared about whatever you were interested in. He was such a hard worker, sometimes to a fault, and he was one of the most generous people that I knew. He loved to go on walks, and he would make my sister and I go on them all the time, from when we were younger to even when we got older, and then I started making him go on walks with me. But that was one of the things that I remembered the most, because that's when I got to spend the most time with him. So to honor him, I decided that at least once a year I would love to be able to go back to Eleuthera, which is another island in the Bahamas, and go to one of my favorite beaches in Savannah Sound. It is the one that reminds me of him most. So because I remember just taking family vacations, very rarely there, but every time we would take family vacations, we would go to that beach. I'm just going to try to honor him at least once a year there, and take my family there, have my kids remember that, you know, we're going to this beach, we're going to walk the beach in honor of your grandfather, and have them remember him, and just know that every year we're doing that for him. As they get older, they won't remember him, and Bianca won't know him because she's the only one, so she won't remember him. Mila probably will not remember him either. So I want to do this, and I got this idea from some really close friends, and I am so glad that they gave me the idea, because I feel like it is a great way to remember someone who you love, and have others remember them as well. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I hope this has encouraged you, and given you some ideas to remember those that you loved. And thank you guys so much for watching. This was a difficult video, but I'm glad I did it and can share that with you guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. So thank you for watching. Peace and love, guys.